Hi everybody, it's Julie and welcome to the 5 Days of Christmas 2021. This is the collab with Cara Brandon Creations and DearJulieJulie. Today we are on day 4. We are taking our days and doing them on the Tuesdays in November this time. So it's Tuesday, it's time for 5 Days of Christmas 2021 collab. Day 4, here's our page from Cara, and we have these 6 different elements that we're going to be able to cut out and use. And from the Dear Julie Julie page, a whole bunch of elements. And you're going to notice that there is room around these so that you can cut them into stamps, and that's what I did. So let's go ahead and see what we can come up with. So I have cut both pages out of cardstock and I have those ready. And I had this like homemade paper. It's a smaller piece that was in my stash and we're going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to start with the bib pocket and I'm going to fold the sides in. This bib pocket has little cardinals all over. It's really, really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and I've decided I want to place this on the edge of the paper, trying to come up with a different idea. And I decide I want to use these back pieces to be a tuck. But before I glue it, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this other edge and we'll save that for something else. So now I also look at it and think, it's kind of empty. We need to add something. So because Cardinal makes such beautiful music, we're going to go ahead and add some music notes to the edge. That came from some wrapping paper that I got in Happy Mail quite a while ago. And it is one of my favorite things to use, especially at Christmas. So now I've pulled out a piece of plastic to protect my table. And I have chosen this little piece with the happiness, health and happiness on it. And we're going to make a little belly band and put it down towards the bottom right of the bib pocket. And that will be able to hold a little card or something in it. Now I'm adding the poinsettias. You're going to see me add these throughout. It is a punch that I got several years ago at Target. And I also add a little holly leaf and a gold bling sticker to the center. Making sure there's no glue on the music piece there. Now we're going to go ahead and actually glue these down. And I'm going to just put a little glue up at the top corner, a little glue down here at the side corner. Put those in and then add just a little bit to the center there. And that is going to give me a little tuck spot. I can go ahead and put a little card in there. Right now it gives us lots of options as we go forward. So there's our first page idea. We'll be back to add some more to the little back tuck space. But I love how it turned out there. We're going to go ahead and bring in another paper. And for this one, we're going to start with one of the tags from Cara Brandon. It's been backed with the grungy snowflake paper from Red Christmas. And, let's switch it to the bigger, the bigger tag. I love choices. We're going to pull out a piece of the music wrapping paper. And we're going to put that down as a belly band. And it is going to be the base of our belly band. So putting that down, again, I think the music is a great addition with the cardinal. And, there's the card. It's going to go into the little bib pocket belly band right there. So we don't accidentally use it somewhere else. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some pieces on to this belly band. We have lots of choices. I did cut most of the little pieces with the postal scissors. And don't forget, we have postal scissors as one of the presents in one of the previous videos. So make sure that you have answered the questions in that video, and maybe they can be yours. Watch for today's present later in today's video. We're going to go ahead and take out that tag and give it an upgrade. We're going to bring in this sled paper that I had from the Hobby Lobby paper pad. It's an 8.5 by 11 paper pad. I got two different ones. One's a little more rustic, and then one's a little brighter. So this is out of the rustic one. It just barely fits. I did use this sled paper for a different project, so this is a scrap, and we're just going to go ahead and just give it a fine little outline of, but it's going to be a layered tag. It's going to make it more substantial, but it just looks really rich. I am very much about using every scrap on the table. So here we have a little piece of the red and white wrapping paper, and we're going to go ahead and add that to the edge. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab our gold pen, and we're going to outline the little box that says Christmas. So the gold pen is today's present. So keep watching this video for the instructions on what you need to do to be in the running for that present. So let's take a look and see how this looks. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and add that poinsettia underneath the Christmas box. We're going to add the holly leaf and the sticker bling in the center. I love cardinals. I absolutely love this kit, these two kits together. So we're going to cut that and put that right there in the center of the poinsettia. And it's just going to help this journal and all these pages that I've made go together. Okay, let's go ahead and add these stamps that I have made. Here we have a tag. So I start on the outside edges. So we have this little tag that has the deer, and I'm going to go ahead and add string to it to just give it that extra dimension and interest for this page. And it's really amazing. You do these little tiny things, add some string, add some bling, and it does make a difference. Add postage scissor cutouts, making things look like stamps. So there's that. I think I might even go back in and add some like rub-on numbers onto a couple of these to make them look like stamps. Maybe with the number 25 or something like that. So here we have the little squirrel stamp. We're going to trade it out. Nope, we'll keep the one, the one that has the green tree. And then we have the little poinsettia scarf. That one I used different scissors on. It has the fancy ruffle scissors. Okay. I think it still needs something, and it's the poinsettia. So we're going to go ahead and add a poinsettia to the inside of the page there, right down there below the music. And again, we'll add the holly leaf and the bling on the inside. I'm showing you that with the 3 reds, it gives you the triangle of interest, and it keeps your eye on the page. Your eye knows what to do because there's a triangle of the same color. And with that, this page is done. We've upgraded the tag, added a belly band with the little stamps. And now real quick, I'm checking to see if I should add a little stopper. The tag seems to be fitting really well, so I don't think we'll need to do that. But taking one more look at our page and deciding to go ahead and decorate the page next to it. I have this card from the Dear Julie Julie page, and we're going to go ahead and just put about 3/8 of an inch fold, and we're going to make a little flip. Okay, so we're going to add glue to that, and put that down. But first I want to make sure that I'm adding a Cara Brandon card or something. So both Cara and Dear Julie Julie are represented on each element that I'm making. So we're going to go ahead and take this little card and we're going to add it to this wrapping paper scrap that I had. And I'm, of course, going to just rip around it. And that's going to give us this tiny little red edge. And I'm just going to find the right place to place it above the squirrel on that card. And I'm going to glue it down. I love how this turned out. It's just a little flip and a little card with the cardinals on the flip. A great outdoor representation for winter or Christmas. I love it. So adding the flip in, and then we're going to want some kind of closure to the right hand side. So I'm going through the little scraps over here and going to find a little closure. We're going to use this little, one of the poinsettias. They seem to be perfect. We're just going to put glue in a diagonal on the one side where the glue would attach to the page. I love how this page turned out. I think this is enough embellishing for this page. We can add a tag, we can add photos, we can add journaling inside there. It's going to be a great addition. So next I'm just going to show you that you could add one of these up at the top or in the center as a stamp. In my journals, a lot of times I'll add something in the center and I journal out like in a sunburst. But I don't do that today. We're going to take a final look and set this aside. We're going to bring back the one that had the little tuck, and we're going to build on this tuck and turn it into a pocket. So I have Cara Brandon's card right there with the birds. I'm going to put glue on the front and then glue on the back. So the front piece will go underneath this front tuck and the other piece will go on top of the other tuck. Isn't this a great little pocket? And we're going to test and try some of the different pieces from the Dear Julie Julie page. And I think we really like this little Christmas wish. We're going to go ahead and just put glue on it in an L shape, leaving a little tuck spot there that we can go ahead and put some little cards or even that ticket in. So we're going to go ahead and take the smaller tag and we are going to give it an upgrade. We're going to add the sled paper to the back of this also, giving it that rich look. It also just feels better, feels like a tag. It's going to work perfect in this pocket. We're going to go ahead and add this little tree that I had in my stash to the edge of this pocket. I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the one side and all the way up to the top of the tree to help it stay in. It's going to make our pocket a little smaller, but I really like the way this collage looks at the bottom. We're going to add in a couple of items into that little tuck spot. So a ticket and one of the cards from the Dear Julie Julie page. And now I'm going to go ahead and build the top of this tag using a piece of the red and white wrapping paper and a piece of the music wrapping paper. I love how this turned out, collagey, and using the same items that we've been using throughout. I'm going to also add in one of our poinsettias, the holly leaf, and the gold bling for a little pizzazz. I love the way these are looking and the way they make the whole journal cohesive just by adding the same little flower throughout the journal. These little punches or punch outs were a great way to use up some of my scraps. So next, speaking of scraps, I have these little tiny pieces of music and I'm going to just put them right there with the cardinal like he's singing his beautiful song. Cardinals have the most beautiful song. I love cardinals. I actually watched watched a pair of cardinals one year make a nest outside my kitchen window. I watched it all day. I had the cleanest kitchen area ever because I was cleaning and noticed that they were building their nest. They didn't end up using that one. I found out that cardinals will build several nests and to try and fool the blue jays. So here I'm using my favorite gold pen. Now you'll remember you want to keep watching this video for instructions on the gold pen present. I'm also going to go ahead and take the gold pen and go around the little box that says Christmas wish, and I'm going to add some little gold balls to the tree. I love the way this pen shines. I'm using the pen from Dollar General here, but the present today is a pen from Dollar Tree, and they are both wonderful. I love the way this turned out, and I'd love to know what you think. Are you ready for another page idea? Actually, this is large tags from the Christmas Joy and Holly digital kit in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop. And I am going to make a page out of it. So I'm folding this first panel or first large tag. And I'm going to go ahead and use I call them the ruffle scissors. They look like a little lacy ruffle edge, just no holes. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up the edge. My printer is not printing nicely on borderless printing, so I have borders on all my prints right now. So we're going to go ahead and fold that over. Then I'm going to come over to the other side, and I'm going to fold in, and originally I was going to have a border. Then I looked at this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this would be either really cool in the middle of a journal, but I think I want this to be the opening page when you first open the journal. So I'm taking this postcard from Cara's page, and I'm taking the calendar from the Dear Julie Julie page. This is actually the May calendar from 1918, but the month started on Wednesday and had 31 days, which this year December starts on Wednesday and it has 31 days. So I thought that that was perfect to add there. Now, I'm going to take these little Santas and I am going to make a Dear Julie Julie garland. I am loving these little string garlands, and I actually, on my DIY channel, that's what I've been making, is garlands for the different holidays, and enjoying them very, very much. These are the two that I made for fall, for my home. You can find these on the Dear Julie Julie DIY channel. So here we are back to the messy desk, and we are going to go ahead and make a Dear Julie Julie garland. But first I'm going to show you that I did use that gold pen and went around the postcard and a couple of the other items. I did that during the premiere yesterday. So we're going to grab the Santas. We're going to cut off, we're going to use 3 of them. So we're just going to cut them, and we're going to cut them down to be little tiny mini tags. So taking those edges off the top part of all 3 of them, and then we're going to pull out that gold pen again, and we are going to go ahead and go around each of these. And don't forget, the gold pen is today's present. Questions coming soon. So stay tuned. With the Santa tags all decked out in gold, we are ready for the poinsettias. We're going to pick out 4 of them, grab the needle, and we're going to start making our garland. So first we're going to add a knot to the end of our string, and then we're going to go ahead and go through our first poinsettia and pull that through to the knot. Then we're going to go through one of the Santa tags from the front, then a poinsettia, then a Santa tag, then a poinsettia, then a Santa tag, and then a poinsettia. So we'll have 3 Santas, 4 poinsettias, all ready to be attached to the card. And so this time I didn't take my needle through the card. I went ahead and just added a knot to the end of the garland. Okay, so see our little string garland. And then I'm going to pull the poinsettia all the way over to the knot. So the outside poinsettias get pulled all the way to the knot. That gives a little extra area to attach to the card. So we're going to put glue on it and attach the poinsettia and the knot to the little postcard. Then I'm going to take the middle Santa, and that is the middle, and we're going to line it up with that little seal that is in the center of the postcard and get an idea of where the center is. Okay, so we have our 2 outside edges and our center. And then we will figure out placement of the other ones so that they are all equal distance apart, or as close to it as we can. This is not the first time that I have made a garland. One of my most watched videos is an Easter garland video, and I will put the link to that in the description box down below. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's been a long time. We did do the sequin one with the trees earlier this week, and I will put that video in the description box down below as well. Please let me know what you think of these little garland ideas. You did see me add a little bit of glue to the back of each of the tags so that the string would stick to the tag so that the Santa would stay facing up. I wanted this garland to be able to move freely and not be stuck to the calendar because I wanted you also to be able to see the calendar. So looking for ways to keep the poinsettias looking at you and the Santas looking at you. And we're going to do the same thing for the poinsettias. And now it's time to add the holly, and then we'll also add the sparkly gold bling centers to each of the poinsettias that we've been using in this video. And there's the bling. This is the sticky bling from Michaels. I don't know if they still have it. I think that they have stopped selling it, but it was one of my favorite things. It still is, because I still have it in my stash. So I'm adding one single faceted bling. So these are faceted. They're not an actual stone. It is a hole that is faceted and gives the look of bling. So you're not going to lose a jewel somewhere in your journal. And now we're ready to attach this to the page. Did you remember we were making a page? So that left side is going to be where the page gets put into the journal. We're going to go ahead and make this into a pocket. And I'm jumping ahead there. I showed you the envelope I'm going to put in this pocket. So I'm measuring it. I don't need it to be as deep as this card is, so I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the card to make the pocket smaller so that the envelope doesn't get lost inside of it. So this little envelope came from the DearJulieJulie page of Elements. We're going to go ahead and add glue to those 2 pieces and put it inside. This is the little card, also came from the DearJulieJulie page, and I took 2 pieces that were next to each other on the page and cut them out together, making a card. I did go ahead and use the gold pen, and I went around the outside of the front of that card. Here I'm adding a sticker from my stash into the center of the little card that you'll find when you open the envelope. We'll go ahead and put the envelope into the pocket, and there is the page. I love how this turned out. Well, this is what I have left. So what can we make with this? I'm thinking a snippet. I'm going to go ahead and start with a book page, and I've ripped out about 1.5 inch piece of the book page. I'm going to go ahead and add some wrapping paper to cover up some of that book page, and it will take up a good amount of room. I've added some plastic underneath to help take care of and save my table. And we're just going to go ahead and add those. Then I have this strip of fabric. We're going to go ahead and rip off a piece of that and make sure it's good and frayed, and use our fabric tack to add that to our book page. Then I'm going to start adding the little pieces of anything and everything that I have left. These little pieces from the Dear Julie Julie page are perfect to give interest to our snippet. A variety of sizes and color. We're going to add this poinsettia right here. We're going to take this other poinsettia that has been framed with the gold pin and add it to the edge right here. So they're far enough away from each other, I think. Now we're going to take this little piece, it fits perfect right there in that little spot, and add it right in there. And so we have 3 pieces that have poinsettias on it, and I think it looks great. We have this little piece of music. We're going to add it down here. It's amazing how we can find spots for these little scraps, and they fit perfect. So next we're going to go ahead, take this Christmas wish words and add that right on top of the music. And now I think we found a place for a ticket. So we're going to go ahead and rip the numbers off the ticket. One of my favorite things to do is put the numbers into any project. And I'm going to turn this other piece of the ticket over and add it to the left-hand side. We're going to take the strip of fabric and cut a little square off and then rip it. And then make sure it frays really good and add it right there on top of the ticket. I am using the Tombow Mono liquid glue for that, and it will work. We're going to add this other scrap of music right there in that tiny little place. Perfect, perfect fit. So now I'm going to look for the perfect words to add. This side is going to say, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And this side is going to say, all is calm, all is bright. Originally, I was going to put that on the cardinal tag, and then it had the words Merry Christmas already on it, so I didn't add it. So we're just going to go ahead and glue these down. These words are from a Tim Holtz paper pad. One of the pages has the words or sentences, and I've been cutting them into strips and using them. I think the black on this looks amazing. And the addition of the words and the fact that it looks like one of those little dino machines, which I have one, a dino label maker. You remember those? You would put the strip in and then press it, and it would make letters and make a label. They are great for using. You can use it with cardstock and make your own labels. I have done that in a couple of previous videos, and I can make my own if I need to. I got sidetracked, and the poinsettias are being added. So we're adding 4 poinsettias. We'll add the little holly leaves behind each one of the 4 poinsettias. And then we're going to also add the gold sticky bling. And that is going to finish up this snippet using up our scraps. We hardly have anything left over. I am really happy how this turned out. And I am so excited that I used almost everything. So basically I have two things from my snippet, probably. Could be more. But I see 2 really nice, like a pocket and a belly band. And I really like how they turned out. And the fact that we used up the scraps. We used the whole page. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go clean this up and we'll be right back to see what we did. And here we go. We finished several things. Remember, we started with the day 4 pages. So this was the Dear Julie Julie page. We had several ephemera on here. And then we had Cara's that had the bib pocket, the cards, and tags. So let's see what we did. So we started with the bib pocket, and I cut the edge off. I went ahead and folded them, and I tucked the 2 pieces underneath. Added this card here. Those were both from Cara. Then I added from the Dear Julie Julie this Christmas wish and a tree that I had in my stash. We also went ahead and did this tag. I popped it up on some other scrapbook paper that I had. I went around the edge of the inside tag with the gold pen, added the music here and up here. Both of these are wrapping paper and the poinsettia that we've been using. And then this just fits right down in there in the pocket. You still get to see the little cardinal, and you've got Merry and Christmas there. Go ahead, and these were little tags from the Dear Julie Julie and a ticket. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those right in there. And that gives us that little tuck. Over here, I added music to the edge, made a tuck here, added this as a belly band, and this little card fit perfectly in there, and added one of the poinsettias here. So that is that little ensemble. And I do really quickly want to add the word hope up here to the top of this. Okay, so we have several of these words left, and so I want to start making sure that I'm using them. So there's our little hope. And we'll leave that open and put it right over here. So next we have the belly band with the large tag. Okay, so this one has the large tag. Then we took the music wrapping paper and put a belly band and added these pieces from the Dear Julie Julie page. I had cut these stamps. This was from a previous page and it was in our little box. I did go ahead, add a scrap of the red here, and I did go around the tag and add the gold here and added the poinsettia down here. Okay, and then on this side, we had the Dear Julie Julie card, and we added the Cara Brandon's card on top of some of the wrapping paper, and it gives us a little flip out there. So you get a little flip, and it tucks underneath this stamp. Okay, so for right here, I had the words peace and joy, and I was like, oh, well, we can add that right there. But wait, I can't be done, right? You can't be done. And then the other thing was I did just receive these adorable bows from Lisa. I'm going to add this bow right here to the top of this tag. So we'll put that over there and let it dry. Then we did the page, and so we took the card from Cara, added the calendar from the Dear Julie Julie page. We made this little garland using the Santas from the Dear Julie Julie page, and poinsettias out of my stash. I added this little envelope from the Dear Julie Julie page, this little card, and we have the sentiment inside there from the sticker sheet. So all that goes in there, and I'm planning that this should be the first thing that you see when you open the journal. I think that that will be fun, and you'll have your December calendar right there. It's like, ta-da, it's coming, Christmas, blowing its horn, and there you go. Okay, so there's that. And then once we were all done with all that, we did a little snippet piece using book page that I had, and we went ahead and added all the scraps that we had left. Then we came in and added some of the words, the sentences to each side, and then 4 of the poinsettias. And I think the natural break for here is right there, or possibly right there, but I think that's the natural break. So this can be a pocket, it can be a belly band. You could break it into more pieces and have it be embellishments, but that's probably what I'm going to do, is break it right there. But that is my 5 days of Christmas collab ideas. I had this left over and this left over. So they might show up somewhere on here, but I think we did really good. So we've got this little page ensemble, this little page ensemble. Okay, so those. And then we did this where you flip it over, and this could go in either place, except for that here you for sure lose the cardinal. So so I kind of like it here. And if I end up with a pocket that's even smaller, like one of these, it may go in that. So there you go. That is my day 5 for the collab. Which is your favorite? What is your favorite piece that we got to work with? I loved it all, actually. I think that this was a lot of fun. Like I said, I love cardinals, so that was really fun to have the cardinals to work with. You know, coming up with ideas that were hopefully different than what I had done, at least just in the last couple of collabs. I hope that helped. So you saw that our style is totally different, but it works really, really fun and really well to work with the two together. You're wondering about the giveaway. Let me take care of that right now. And today's present is the gold pen. You saw I absolutely am loving using these pens. I go back and forth between the one from Dollar Tree and the one from Dollar General, but I love them both, and I picked one up. Actually, I picked up a few to be able to give away as presents. So today's present is the gold pen. That gives you another chance to possibly win the gold pen. What I'd like to know is, what is your favorite metal color to use in your journals when you do? Do you like silver? Do you like gold? Do you like a metallic pink, bronze? No metal color. Let me know in the description box down below, and we will be doing the present giveaway on December 2nd. It will be a live video. I hope you'll join us there. And this one is available to the United States only because shipping is crazy. If we draw your name and you're not from the United States, I do have a coupon code for the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop for you. What is your favorite metal color? And what was your favorite thing that we did here today? I hope you'll go check out the elves and the others that are participating in the 5 days of Christmas. The playlists are listed down below, as well as those that are joining in, and you can check out their social media links in the description box down below. The Dear Julie digitals are all on sale for 50% off through the end of November, as well as all the journals and the journal kits in the Dear Julie Etsy shop. So do check that out. Make sure that you subscribe. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye. Possibly receiving blah, 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 blah.